exactly 7:40. So I don't know, ni Marcella, ni Mary, the way you have organized yourselves. Karibuni to moderate and now take us through the day's event. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacinta, and welcome to all the members. I can see people have joined in good time. We are already at 33, and this is very good because it means when people have kept time, it's going to give us enough time to cover today's topic. So welcome to day 2 of our GBV awareness. And just to bring up all of you to speed, in case you missed yesterday, we were able to look at the introduction to GBV. We also looked at prevalence, and we also looked at types of GBV. We were taken through by Eliud in a very simplified way. And we also looked at stigma and the various forms of stigma. So in case you were not there, just know that we laid the foundation by looking at those areas that I have mentioned. So you will still catch up. You will not get, or you will not feel lost even as we go to day 2. And today we will focus on the contributing factors and the risk factors for the rising GBV cases. And of course, in Kenya, we know what has been happening from various or across the country, not to mention specific cases, but we know that they've been on the rise. And so here we are creating awareness so that when you become aware, you do better. You also go and create awareness in your area or where you come from. Could be at home, could be amongst your friends, or it could be even in your workplace. You sensitize people and also you share the knowledge that you have learned. So I welcome all of you. Mary, are you there? Mary, in case you're there, you can say hi before we start today's topic. Mary, I can see you're there. And I can see you have unmuted, but we cannot hear you.
Mary, kindly, if you can hear us, kindly you can maybe leave, then log in again. You might be experiencing some challenges and yeah, we can't hear you at all. Sorry for that.
Yeah, it could be she has a problem with her mic. Yeah, she has left, but welcome all of you who are still joining us for today's session. Mary, I can see you're back. Unmute. Okay. It is all right, Mary. Sometimes technology can misbehave and become a challenge, but you can still, if you're able to speak, you can still chat and say hi to us. I can see we are at 7:39, and I have also noted that our speaker is here, our one and only Eliud. We are ready for you. We are ready that you impact knowledge. You share your wisdom with us so that we also go out there feeling empowered. Exactly 7:40. So I do not want to waste time so that we have enough time even for questions for today's topic. If you can hear me, you can do the necessary. You can clap for our speaker as he approaches the stage to talk to us. Well done. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Eliud, there goes your claps and you're welcome.
An amazing session today. Mary is fixing her audio. I've just contacted her and fix her audio in just a few minutes. And then she's going to take us through today so that now we may progress with the days and the topics that we had already agreed that we are going to look at. So in a few, I believe she's going to join us and continue with the conversation. So Marcella, the moment you spot her, just invite her so that she may continue. Yes, but
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. So today, just to mention, we'll be looking at contributing factors and risk factors for the rising cases of gender-based violence. So that is what Mary will be presenting, and I believe she'll be joining us in just a few seconds, if not, a minute. Then she'll progress from there.
Okay, that is okay, Eliud. I hear you, and for sure, I remember Mary is also our co-speaker. I forgot to mention she'll be here with us. Mary, can you hear us? I can see you are back.
Marcella, we can't hear any of you. We can't hear Eliud, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I had muted myself because I was giving a chance to Mary. Let me see.
All right, Marcella, please, I would advise that you can check on Mary in case she's having any issue. If she's not able to completely do the join the meeting, kindly let us know so that I can progress with the session, because yes, because I'm also ready for that. So kindly, if she, yes, check with her if she can't, if she has having challenges completely, just let me know. Then I'll start the conversation, and then when she can, she is going to join in and continue with the conversation. In a minute,
That's okay.
if she can, I'll progress. Yes, thank you.
As we wait for Marcella, Mary, and Helio to fix the hiccups, can we have maybe the audience in the unmute? Let us know something new you learned in yesterday's session, or just a comment from yesterday's session. I can see already some hands up. Shikanda, Neville Shikanda, your hand has been up. I don't know. You want to try something or by mistake? Florence Mwaisenke, your hand is as well up. Rose Lucy Njeri, yes, you can unmute and speak to us kindly. Rose Lucy Jerry. Yes. We get you, Shikanda.
Hello.
Hello, karibu Lucy.
Thank you so much. Good evening, all of you. Thank you for yesterday's presentation. It was very nice. But in my own opinion, I would like, since I can see the facilitator for yesterday is online, to also tackle, next time to also tackle church, the beliefs of the religious belief and gender-based violence, because we see the church somehow, let me just say this, and people should not misquote me. Most of the religious leaders, they mislead people when it comes to gender-based violence because of the vows that people take. People are told for better or for worse. Then they are encouraged that divorce should not happen when gender-based violence is seen in a family. So I think people should always be educated on that when it comes to do with the religion and gender-based violence. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, Jerry. That is really nice observation. Till death do us part, yes?
All right.
I think, yes.
Should I take over from there?
Oh, yes.
Yes, because I don't think we should wait until death do us part. Let me just mention something, and then immediately, if Mary will not have successfully joined the meeting, I'll just progress. Nitaendelea tu immediately. So when we talk about religion, that is very true, and anybody who would misquote you, I think it's those who have asked the question. Jacinta, nani ameuliza swali?
Naitwa Rose Lucy Jerry.
Rose, okay, thank you. So Rose, so don't be afraid of anybody misquoting me, because personally, as I'm giving this response, I'm not afraid of anybody misquoting me, because the truth is the truth, and we should always call a spade and without any fear. That's why we are having these conversations, to eliminate such stigmas, whereby somebody is stigmatized, because you should not when you see somebody in the line of religion who is doing something that is not right, then you feel afraid of speaking out, because you feel you might be misquoted, which is very much common. Now, the vows that people usually say are very dangerous vows, and they should be conditioned that you cannot stay with somebody until death do you part, because if that person now becomes the death itself, the person that you are marrying, so mnasema hadi kifo kitutenganishe, alafu huyo mwenye umeoa ama umeolewa naye anakuwa sasa ndiye kifo chenye kitawatenganisha. So vows, no matter where they are coming from, they are not greater than you. You as an individual, you are more valuable than the vows. So don't hurt yourself or stay in an environment where you are getting hurt simply because of the vows. Those are just vows, nothing more. And these guys have never really told us who came up with those vows, because I believe somebody just sat down, because those things are not in the Bible. Maybe there could be some verses zimetolewa hapa na pale in the Bible, but those things should not really be taken more serious than life itself. So you prioritize on what matters, and what matters is your life. That you give it a priority. So despite that, I've also seen most people, when it comes to the religious matters, they are really advised, well, kaa tu hapo, Mungu atamchange, Mungu atambadilisha. And that's how most ladies end up dying, staying in abusive marriages, wakigoja Mungu abadilishe the husband or the partner who is becoming abusive. So it is very important that people get to understand that there's nothing, literally nothing, that should keep you in an abusive marriage. Not the vows, not the pastor or the religious person telling you, hapana, wewe tu kukaa kwa marriage, Mungu atamchange. No. Before Mungu amchange, tutakuwa tumekuzika already. So please, let us not allow such systems, because religion itself is a system. It's religious, it's a system which now was created by human being,
Mary?
I hope I'm...
Oh, sorry.
Yes, so what I'm saying is religion was created by human beings, and we should not let that allow us to stay in abusive relationships where our life is at risk. So we should always be watchful and careful. Anything that is putting your life at risk, no matter what it is, no matter where it is coming from, please say no to it. Not even religion should make you stay in an abusive relationship or the vows. Kindly.
Thank you, Eliud. Mary, are you there now? Okay. Eliud, I think it would be good if you took over.
Good.
Because I think Mary is still getting a challenge.
All right.
Please.
All right. Thank you so much. So I'm going to take over immediately, so that if Mary will be able to join us later, that's okay. She will continue from where I will be. I will be, pale nitakuwa nimefikisha. So just in a second, I want to try and share my screen with you. All right. So I hope you can see. So because of the emergency that I'm handling this, you allow me, guys, to use my phone to present the slides and not my laptop, because using my laptop will require me some extra time so that I can now log in with my computer. So Jacinta, is everything visible from your end, the presentation, the slides, and also my audio?
Actually, yes, it is Eliud.
Good, amazing. Then now we start the discussion today. We will be talking about, we continue with the conversation of gender-based violence. And today, as I had mentioned, we are going to look at the risk factors, the root causes, and the factors that are really contributing to the rising cases of domestic violence. So if anything is not controlled, you find that it always grows. So if you don't control something, definitely it grows. So when now we don't keep these conversations going as often as possible, you realize that that's now the moment when now things will start going on. So I would like to start with the root causes of gender-based violence, and this includes social cultural norms. So,
Elliot, the quality of your voice has kind of gone down.
okay, is it any better right now?
It's okay right now.
It's
It's
okay
okay
right
now.
now. Okay, I think ni mimi natebeza mkono sana. Sorry for that. So what I'm saying is that the first root cause of gender-based violence is social and cultural norms. So when we are talking about social, and I appreciate Laws for asking the question that she has just asked, because now when we are talking about church, how the church is contributing to some of these domestic violence issues and even people being killed and such matters, then the church falls under the social structure, the social system, because the church, the school, the government, all those are social structures that are based on the social foundation, interaction of people, relationship of people, from one person to another. So when we are talking about the root causes of gender-based violence, and the first one being socio-cultural norms, the reason why socio-cultural norm is the first one, it's because it's actually the major cause. The major cause that socio-cultural norms. When we are talking about norms, we are talking about the normal behavior, the normal beliefs, the common beliefs of a specific ethnic group or social group or community. Every community or every society has what they call their norms. For example, utaenda kwa Wamasai upate their norm, so for circumcision ni kung'olewa meno. Ukienda kwa another culture like Wakikuyu utapata it's now the circumcision, the circumcision, the circumcision of men. So let me try to put don't disturb on my phone, so so that you may not really see things that you are not meant to see. Because I'm using my phone, it might misbehave, like just what you've seen. All right, thank you so much. So what I'm saying is, when we are talking about social and cultural norms, when you go to every culture, they have a way, a formula, a common way on how they do certain things. So some norms in most cultures usually categorize domestic violence or gender-based violence. For example, what we have just mentioned previously before I started this was the church. So the vows that people usually say, for better for worse, until death do us part. So there should be a question mark. Not that actually should, the vows themselves, all of them should be questions, not statements but questions. Actually wanafaa waseme until death do us part, for better for worse. It shouldn't be like a statement, because there should be a limit to how you can to the extent by which you should tolerate someone. Because again, you should not be bound by vows to wait for someone to kill you. Because a relationship, sorry, not love, but a relationship which now has fallen out of love is not a relationship that you should commit yourself to. Why? Because anything can happen in that relationship. And I don't think God would be so happy and excited. Sorry, there's a Mary who have not unmuted. Okay. All right. So I don't think God would be so happy when you get into heaven and then you are like unakuuliza ni nini umekujia, unamwambia mimi nimeuawa na bwanako, and then you are like ni bwanangu ameniua. Kwa nini? Tuligombana tu alafu akaniduga na kisu. Okay, was it sudden ama? No, for the last 5 years or 10 years amekuwa akijaribu kuni abuse, but naambiwa nivumilie. I don't think God would really be so happy about that. God would have told you, you should value yourself over anything else. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying that, the social structure of the social system of religion is also, instead of cultivating through certain change of certain rules and doctrines in the church system, then they should change some of these, so that again they don't pressure people to stay in marriages that are abusive in the name of keeping the vows. So they only say that when it comes to a relationship, the only reason why you should leave your marriage is only on the basis of infidelity. That's majority of religions. That's what they preach, that you should only leave your religion on the your marriage on the basis of infidelity. But infidelity is just an issue of trust and loyalty. And anybody who can make a decision to to just forgive the infidelity, or to forgive, to cultivate the trust, those are things that can be cultivated. But when you lose your head, there's no way you can cultivate getting back your head. When somebody cuts your head off, there's no way we can cultivate to get that back. So I even believe that the Bible should have put it clearly that the only time you should leave your marriage is when the person, your life is at, being threatened, your life is in danger. Because infidelity, that one you can forgive. When it comes to trust issues, most people forgive that and they cultivate the trust back. So majority of our cultures are the ones which are actually cultivating these domestic violence issues. You go to a village whereby the chief knows that there's a guy in the village who is abusing his wife, but he cannot do anything because huyo jamaa mwenye anapiga bibi yake ndiye huwa ananunulia chief pombe. And the chief anajua nikijaribu kuambia huyu jamaa aache kupiga bibi yake, kesho sitanunuliwa pombe. So the chief has to keep quiet. You see? So those are social structures that are failing us deeply, strongly, and heavily failing us. So we need to let go the norms that no longer serve us as a community. We need to let go the social and cultural norms that are no longer, for the common good of the society or the community. So that is very important. Now, number two, we have economic factors. Most married couples, majority of them are fighting because of finances. That's what you might realize. Oh, ulipewa mshahara, badala ya ulipe nyumba ukaenda ukalewa, vita inaanza hapo. You see? So mama nimeona the neighbor mama Shiko, huyu neighbor yetu bwanake amempatia 5,000 ya kwenda kununuliwa human hair, lakini wewe unipatie 5,000. So lazima tupigane. All right? So it is very important for us to understand that economic factors are one of the major contributing factors when it comes to domestic or gender-based violence. So allow me to conclude these root causes so that I can give Mary an opportunity. Nimeona kama ameingia, so that kama ako set vizuri, she's going to continue with the discussion.
Her speaker is not working. That is what she's saying.
Okay, then that's okay. Let me then. Okay, then I will continue. All right. So economic factors are one of the also major factors that are contributing to gender-based violence, and economic factors mostly involves mismanagement, especially of family finances. Mzee alifaa kwenda kulipa school fees, hajalipa, ameenda huko akafanya gambling. Mama aliachiwa 5,000 akaambiwa hiyo ni ya kukula hiyo mwezi yote, akaenda akanunua chipo bucket moja, ama akaenda akanunua viazi bucket moja, akaenda kupika chipo mwitu kwa nyumba, and then ile pesa alikuwa ameachiwa ndio itakuliwa 1 month by the entire family, yote imekulwa chipo hiyo siku. You see? So those kind of misunderstandings, especially financial misunderstandings, are causing this major domestic violence. During COVID-19 pandemic, that is when we had the highest rise of gender-based violence, because watu wengi walifutwa kazi zao, wengine biashara zao zikaanguka, and most people, their sources of income was actually disabled or killed completely, So economic factor is one of the major issues, and that's why I always advise couples, even before you commit into a marriage, please kaeni chini museme nao mambo ya pesa tutakuwa tuna handle aje. Wewe so in most marriages or relationships utapata the ladies especially huwa wanasema wewe kama my husband pesa yako ni yetu, lakini mimi kama bibi pesa yangu ni yangu, si yetu. You see? And that's actually one of the major causes of crisis in relationships when it comes to economic issues. Bibi akipata pesa yake, mshahara yake, hiyo ni yake ya makucha, ya nywele, ya sijui ya kununua heels, sijui ya kufanya nini, vitu kama hizo. Lakini husband akipata pesa, hiyo pesa ndio italipa nyumba, ndio itakurwa the entire month, na bado the bibi ya somewhere along the month, katikati ya mwezi, bado atasema anahitaji, pesa in one way or another. So it is very important as a man to treat huyo verified wako, sijui kama ni verified ama ni mpoa ama ni mheshimiwa, whatever the name unamuita. So it's okay to treat her, it's okay to spoil her, spoil yeye kama uko na pesa. But also I always tell men that any woman in your life, any lady in your life, could it be your girlfriend, your wife, or your fiancée, she should live within your means. And if every lady can learn how to live within the means of the man in her life, then we would greatly be able to reduce some of these cases. Because utapata mwanaume amepewa pressure, hapana, nataka hiyo. Sasa mwanaume, because pia yeye hataki kureduce ile tulisema jana gangster point, because bado anataka aonyeshe pia yeye ni bazuu kwa hiyo nyumba, anaenda pale anachukua karon, anakuja anafanyia bibi kila kitu anataka, lakini hata bibi hajui ni loan imechukuliwa. And then one morning the guys wenye alichukua loan kwao wanakuja kunini inaitwa kuchota, wanakuja kuchota vitu za nyumbani, wanataka kuchukua sijui TV, wanataka kuchukua sijui nini, waenda nayo. And the wife was not aware kuna loan pale ilichukuliwa. But remember, this guy alichukua loan ndio afurahisha bibi yake, and that's something that I always discourage men to do. Never usiwahi kuchukua loan ndio afurahishe. And also you as ladies, if you have a man in your, please try by all means.
We've lost you, Eliud.
Sorry, have you lost me completely?
Now you are back. Your voice was very faint.
Okay, sorry. I think there could be an issue, but it's okay. So what I'm saying is that we should, in a relationship, we should have prior conversations. Seriously, have conversations about financial management. And we always say that a relationship cannot be maintained with love or by love. Love is very good. Love at first sight, very magical, very amazing. You see somebody and it is love at first sight. You see him and then you feel like you are touching the beards of Abraham and Aaron in heaven. Huyo jamaa tu ukimwangalia hivi unaona kama bigu imefuguka, because you are feeling, unamfeel kabisa. That's good to start the relationship. And then kufiriana. But kufiriana haijawahi sustain relationship. Love has never sustained a relationship. What sustains a relationship is skills, management skills to manage the relationship. When I'm talking about skills, I'm talking about communication skills. With communication skills, you are going to sustain a relationship. With listening skills, you are going to sustain a relationship. Financial management skills, you are going to sustain a relationship. Being non-judgmental, those kind of skills are the ones which are going to help you sustain a relationship. That is why I'm saying that when it comes to economic factors, you need to sit down and make sure that money is not coming between you and your husband or your wife, or breaking the relationship to a point inafika mpaka mnaanza kupigana na kutusiana, sexual abuse, emotional abuse. Now, when I talk about economic factor falls under the type of GBV that we talked about yesterday called socio-economic violence. Socio-economic violence is where economic factor falls under. The other one is legal factor. And legal factor, I remember yesterday we mentioned something about stigma. When we are talking about stigma, we talked about lack of trust in the systems that are supposed to help in curbing or making sure that we put an end to gender-based violence. So wakati unaenda kwa kotini, and then unapata yule mwenye the judge ni brother ya yule mwenye alirepu msichana, then hakuna venye utawini hiyo case. Ama unaenda kotini unapata the guy mwenye alirepu msichana babake ni billionaire. So wakifika tu kotini, the judge anapatiwa 1 million, ananyamaza, and then anarule the case in favor of the perpetrator. So when the legal justice systems are not carrying, they are not performing their mandate as they should, without kuegemea pande zingine because of, because amepewa hongo, amepatiwa kachai hapo. So if the legal factors do not play their role well or their mandate well when it comes to withholding and sustaining and advocating for justice for everybody, then again we are going to have a problem, and that is why that is one of the major root causes. So when we lack trust in the legal systems, when the legal systems are very corrupt, such that genuine cases of domestic violence cannot find justice in a legal system, that is very dangerous, and that is one of the major causes. Because ni kama jana venye nilikuambia, unaenda polisi kustaki kwamba umerepiwa, and then yule police officer unapata huko kwa police station anakurepu pia, anakuambia umerepiwa, kuja ni kuongezea repu ingine. You see, instead ya kukusaidia yeye mwenyewe pia anakuwa one of the perpetrators. So that is legal factors. Political factors. So political factors comes in because, politics, they always say that politics are data games, and people can do anything for politics. Yeah. So this is where you find that the political system is not even allocating resources that should be used to be able to curb issues such as gender-based violence. Just the other day, I think I don't know that is the president or, but I think I encountered something like that. Nilisikia kwamba kuna some hundreds of millions zilitolewa so that people can be educated about these issues of gender-based violence after last week, but when we had these rising cases of femicide. And then kuna pesa ilitolewa na serikali. And believe me you, hiyo pesa itakuliwa na jamaa tu wako kwa hizo ofisi. Most likely, hiyo pesa haitatumika venye inafaa. So when now the political systems fail, when now the politicians, because majority of the people in the government offices are not leaders. Majority of them are politicians. There's a very big difference between a politician and a leader. A leader is prioritizing on the matters wajiko, on the matters common mwananchi, on the matters helping the person mwenye alimuvotia. But a politician akiingia the first 1 year anajaribu kurudisha, ama the first 2 years anajaribu kurudisha ile pesa alitumia during the campaign. Hiyo ndio anajaribu kurudisha. And then after that now the last few years sasa ni ya kujaribu venye ataweza kuvotiwa the next term. Those are politicians, and we have many of them. Majority of the people, those people that we have elected in the leadership positions in this country, instead of being leaders, they are politicians. So when political systems fail, then again, this causes an increase in gender-based violence. I'm going to tell you for a fact, when I was in Form 4 in high school, I happened to, a lady who was, I think, Form 2 at that particular time approached me. And then she told me, there's this MCA mwenye alikuwa best ya mamangu. And then mamangu alikufa because of cancer. I think it was a year, prior to that. Alikufa because of cancer. And because they were friends na pia mamangu alikuwa amesaidia huyu jamaa kucampaign, the MCA akasema kwamba atanisaidia kunielimisha. Atakuwa analipa school fees yangu hadi nimaliza shule. But here was the problem. After several terms ya kulipa school fees, this MCA alianza kuita the lady kwa gari yake ndio ampatie school fees. So alikuwa anapigia the sister to the lady, the student, now anamwambia now I want you to come tupatane pahali fulani kwa gari yangu ndio nikupatie pesa ya school fees. And this is a student, a Form 2 student. And then at some point this MCA akaanza kuharass this lady sexually. Akaanza kumguza wakati anakujia nini hiyo school fees. And that's now the point where alikuja kwangu because I was the head boy. Yeah, nilikuwa sikuwa mchache hivyo, nilikuwa high school, nilikuwa head boy, I was the captain, pia nilikuwa na punish watu hapa na pale sometimes. Unajua ukiwa head boy, ukiwa high school uko na maligo mingi sana. Utapanishiwa. Wewe ndio unaitwa na deputy headmaster anakuambia na kuna jamaa enda umpatie punishment. Unaenda unafanyia watu punishment huko. So you enjoy it. So I was the head boy. So now this lady came to me na akaniambia, now I think there's something that I need to share with you, Eliud, because I need some help. So that's when now she exposed the issue, akaniambia bra bra bra, and what I have just told you. So that thing really caught me, made me really furious to a point where I went to the police station and nikaandikisha statement, and this guy was warned. But of course akona pesa, hakuna venye hiyo story ilipenya. But at least hakuwa amemabuse sexually. Just it was the harassment which he had attempted I think twice or 3 times, but hakuwa amefika place ya kumrape ama kumforce. Now that ended there. This is a politician amechaguliwa na wananchi aende atetee haki zao in the higher offices, but it's the same guy mwenye anaanza kukura kodoo, mwenye badala ya kusaidia hawa wananchi anarudi kwa the same wananchi, anachukua wasichana wenye anafaa kutetea and then anaanza ku abuse sexually. So that is a failure when it comes to the political part. So we need to talk about this so that even politicians can be people who are advocate for such matters. Isikuwa tunachagua mtu and then badala ya kututetea anakuja kukura watoto wetu. Sorry, anakuja kuharibu watoto wetu. Sorry for using that word, but I believe we have youths here, so musinini sana. So anakuja kuharibu watoto wetu, raping them, taking advantage of them, unaabua edea basari. I've even seen cases of MCAs and those people in higher offices wenye huwa wana take advantage ya wazazi. Mzazi anaabua kujia basari, anaenda anaabua na unajua nataka nikupatie basari ya 50,000. Na sasa basari ya 50,000 haiwezi toka hivi tu. Mzazi lazima tufanye ile kitendo. And then now because the parent anataka mzazi wake asaidike, some of them give in. Because you know mtoto wangu amefukuzwa shule, kama nitapata 50,000 atasoma hii mwaka yote, then for the sake of my child, because of the poverty factors again, inabidi give in. So that is one of the major factor. Some of these guys are taking advantage of these people, and it is very bad, very bad. Now, let me take you through factors that are contributing. So those are the root causes. Those are the root causes. If we dig deeper, we're looking at the factors contributing. These factors contributing, you can trace them to the root causes. Ukiangalia for example poverty, utaweza kuitrace kwa hapo penye for example nimesema the mother is willing to give in to be taken advantage of by a politician ndio apate bursary. Why? Because of poverty. So what I've just said, the four are the root causes, the major causes. Now let us look at factors that are contributing to rising cases of gender-based violence. The first one being poverty, of which I have just mentioned that poverty can make somebody just do anything, especially when they are desperate for success. You've seen students, and I like the idea that we have students here, because this one is for you students. So kama wewe ni students, injection ni wewe. If I was a medical doctor, immediately nikakwambia wewe patient teremusha, ndio nikudunge shindano. But now students, this one is for you. So listen to this. We have so many students who are getting first class honors, second class upper, divisions and all that. But those degrees are sexually transmitted. Those degrees here alienda unaangalia msichana unashangaa. Kwa nini huyu msichana hakujagi class? Anashidaga pate after pate. Na akikuja class anakuja siku ya cut. Akiwa mlevi, akiwa na Mwakenya bado. Akiwa ameandika kila pahali kwa thighs na nini. Or huyu msichana hakujagi class totally, hata mnakumbuka tu vizuri, hata kata hakukuja kufanya. Main exam alikuja akashida akiwaangalia huko, akiwaadmire kama nyinyi ni zombies. But this is the same person who is getting a first class. How is it happening? Most of them, not all of them again, because kuna magenius, but we have ladies wenye wanapata first class honors and high degrees, but these degrees are sexually transmitted. So that is just to mention, because we have students here. So you'd rather, my friend, afadhali ufanye soup. Sijui kama kwa university zenu mnaziita soup. Hizi zenye unarudia, umeanguka exam umepata F, then afadhali urudie hizo, uende mjego utafute hiyo pesa. Kuliko utekiwe advantage na lecturer ati ndio akupatia yeye. Utamaliza na first class honors, lakini utatafuta mtu wa kukuajiri, ushangaage uko na first class lakini unatuuzia mahidi huku kwa barabara. Sisemi kuuza mahidi ni baya, lakini that could be one of the cause, because you did not get your degree with dignity. So when we are talking about poverty can make somebody do anything. Hadi kazini unapata msichana anaenda kazini pahali anaabua ndio sasa ni tukupee kazi, lazima unini sasa hiyo kitu lazima upatiane kwa boss, yeah? lazima uende na boss kidogo, muongee for 1 hour kwa room yake ama kwa ofisi yake, wakati kila mtu haoni, and then kazi itakuwa yako. And then as a lady especially, ukikumbuka kwamba nyumbani mamako anaishi nyumba ya nyasi na wewe ndio tegemeo kwenu, because you are so poor. Kuna brothers na sisters wako nyuma yako, wewe ndio wameangalia juu uwasomeshe na utengeneze maisha ya familia. Ukikumbuka tu hivyo, huna otherwise, you give in. So poverty is one of the major causes. But here's the reality. If you're going to succeed in life, you will succeed. So don't let poverty lead you into harm ways. You'd rather take 20 years to become a millionaire than take 5 seconds. Well, some men last 5 seconds in bed. Utapata mwanaume ata last 5 seconds na akupatia 1 million. By the end of the day umekuwa millionaire within 5 seconds. But this millionaire umekuwa within 5 seconds or 5 minutes or whatever time it was. You never celebrate that money. You will never really be able to enjoy that money. And even if you enjoy it, you will use it in drugs because you see pesa umesweatia. You see? So we should not let poverty lead us to harm ways which are contributing to gender-based violence. Poverty is also the same reason why some parents are giving up their daughters to get married when they are 10 years, 15 years to older men who have money. That is the same reason. Pesa ni mzuri, watu tutafute pesa, na ukitafuta pesa isikucontrol. Make sure ukitafuta pesa unaweza kuicontrol. But again, usikuwa tunataka kuomoka haraka ndio huku kwa social media uko unatesa, unanunua marimozini huku, unasijui the brand new ya simu yenye imetoka wewe uko nayo, ma designer clothes ndio utese. Wacha nikwambie, utatesa huku na pesa yenye umepata without dignity. Nadhani usifikiria ati tuna like picha yako juu tunakupenda. Ni nguo zako tuna like. Ile siku utaenda hapo bila hiyo nguo utashangaa. Hakuna mtu atalike hiyo picha yako. So you're going to get those highs, and watu wengi, especially young people, they want to get that that social media attention by doing harmful things. So please, hata kama uko kwenu mko maskini kiasi gani, please don't get into the path of gender-based violence or domestic violence, which is now going to destroy your life. Now, don't also stay in a relationship because you are so poor, na huyo jamaa huwa anakurushia kakitu every month, anakupatia 2,000 na wewe sasa you give in. Hata akikugoga huwezi ongea juu ndiye analipaga nyumba. Afadhali uende ukakae nyumba ya nyasi, ama uende kwa best yako, ama urudi nyumbani kwenu ukakae na mamako, kuliko ukae kwa nyumba ya 3 bedroom and the guy mwenye anakulipia hiyo nyumba anakuabuse. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, guys. So please let us take care of ourselves. Now, I'll be a little bit quick on the rest so that we do not take that much time, but I believe that it's going to also be of benefit, so that I can also nikuwe na explain vizuri, because again sipendi kuharakisha kitu and then something that I would have said nikose kusema and somebody else would have benefited from that. All right, so we have society. So one of the contributing factors is society, and I may not really explain this much because I did a lot of explaining when it comes to socio-cultural norms. So society is under socio-cultural norms, which are the root cause of gender-based violence. We have stress in the homes. So stress at home, this now is resulting to gender-based violence. And stress is being caused by probably, we have factors such as the economic issues when the guys are not able to manage finances in a relationship. That is, a cause of stress. When there is misunderstanding, wakati kwa marriage mumeanza kugogeana na kugogewa na that kugogeana kitu that is really watu wamekasirishwa nayo. So ukienda as a wife, ukienda huko nje and then uende upatiane mali ya mzee. Allow me guys to use some of these languages because we have youths here. Yes, ndio mulilete vizuri. So kama we as a wife umeenda huko nje umepeana mali ya mzee, ile mali mzee peke yake ndiye anafaa kuenjoy, unaenda unapatia mwanaume mwingine. So huyo jamaa sasa, your husband now atasema amegogewa. So those are some of the issues that are causing stress. Infidelity, lack of trust in the relationship. So when there is stress at home, this is one of the contributing factor to gender-based violence, because utakuja tu na ugogwe vizuri, mwanze kukua na those verbal violence, verbal abuse, utakuwa emotionally abused, hata utanyimwa pesa, utaambiwa huyo mwenye anaenda kukugonga huko nje, wacha kwenda kupatie pesa ya shopping, enda uambie huyo mwanaume mnaenda na huko nje, those kind of issues. So this is one of the also major causes of gender-based violence. We have individual perpetrators, another contributing factors. So they are not really attached to the society, social norms or poverty, but these are just guys who have decided, wacha niende nikirepu watoto. Some of them we can call them narcissists. We have serial killers. We have womanizers, and what do we call the women who abuse men? Should we call manizers? Because we have men who abuse women and take advantage of them. They are called womanizers. So women who take advantage of men and abuse them, then that should be manizers, something like that. But we have either way. We have such. So people who have moral decay, people who have no concern, no dignity for human life. There's somebody who just wakes up and they are like, anachukua mtoto wa 5 years and rape. Hivyo tu, for just no reason. Majority of them, lack of self-control. And some of them are struggling with traumatic issues that they have not resolved. And these childhood traumas are the ones which are actually pushing them to do some of these animalistic things that they are doing to us, to our girls, to men, to women, and those people that they are abusing. So we have individual perpetrators. So we have relationships. That one I'm not really going to explain much, because when we talk about relationships, we are talking about any kind of relationship. Friendship is a relationship. Parental-child relationship, that's another relationship. We have work environment relationship. Such relationships are also contributing to gender-based violence. For example, when I talk about relationship, this is where I mentioned yesterday. Beste yako mwanaume anakuja anakuambia anapiga bibi yake, and then unamwambia sasa wewe ndiye mwanaume. So that is a relationship which is contributing to gender-based violence. So such relationships can actually contribute to that. And we also have community. So the community is now also the society, So there are certain behaviors in the community which actually cultivate gender-based violence. If you have a community whereby, for example, there's a prominent drug abuse issue. Watu wanatumia drugs huko. Everybody is just using drugs. So when people use drugs, that increases the chances of domestic violence. And actually that is one of the other contributing factors. Alcohol and drug use. You see? So alcohol and drug use, jamaa anakuja akiwa mlevi amejisahau. Anakuja anaanza kuvuruga kila mtu nyumbani, kupiganisha watu and all that. So alcohol and drug use, and when we are talking about a community, this is a community which is not laying down any effort to curb drug abuse and alcohol use in the society. So when now the community is not joining hand to be able to curb these issues, to be able to control and stop acts of gender-based violence, the community is contributing to the rising cases of gender-based violence. Now, let's go to the risk factors so that we may conclude. That is the second last slide. So, risk factors. So, when we talk about risk factors, we are talking about situations, circumstances that can put you at a high risk of becoming a gender-based violence victim. So please don't bother my son. So he likes sometimes kufanya tabia baya, na akifanya tabia baya lazima na yeye afunzwe adabu. So most likely amefanya tabia baya. All right. So risk factors means that these are situations, circumstances, or states of being that can actually put you at the risk of becoming a victim of gender-based violence, So when we are talking about risk factors, number one, we have abuse during pregnancy. A pregnant woman is at a higher risk of being a victim of gender-based violence than any other woman. Why? Because a pregnant woman hataweza kujinasua haraka kwa mikono ya mtu mwenye anamuabuse. Ukifungiwa kwa nyumba ni hivyo. Ukiambiwa fanya hivi, because you cannot be able to really you don't have even the energy, you cannot be able utaweza maybe hata kutoka nyumba kwenda kwa chief na vitu kama hizo. So pregnant women are at a higher risk of being abused emotionally, physically, socio-economically. Utapata hadi mwanaume mwenye ha take care of the wife, bibi na ako pregnant, akiitisha pesa anaambiwa shauri yako. That is socio-economic abuse. Emotional abuse, the guy is not there for the wife, totally not there. Anafika tu nyumbani analala, anatoka kazini anaenda weekend, hata akipewa paternity leave yeye hayuko nyumbani the entire time, ako huko nje anacheza na mabeste wake. So that can also contribute. So pregnant women are at a high risk of becoming victims of gender-based violence. We have experience of depression. So those people who are depressed can most likely become perpetrators, because when you have depression, your reasoning is compromised. So when you have depression, or when you have other underlying unresolved mental health conditions, you stand a higher chance of especially becoming a perpetrator or becoming an abuser. Because wakati uko na depression, you are not in your right state of mind. At some point, this depression or these underlying mental health conditions are in a way trying to control you. So if you do not resolve traumas, depression, and other mental health issues that you have not resolved, we call them unresolved psychological issues, then that might put you at a higher risk of becoming an abuser. And also, even if you have depression, you might find yourself being abused. Why? Because, for example, this is a wife who has depression. Akona stress, akona depression kabisa. Anashindwa mpaka kupigia husband yake. Husband akifika nyumbani ni makofi tu. But the wife is depressed. Haoshi nguo vizuri. Hafanyi, haishi maisha yake vizuri. Husband akifika nyumbani kumgombanisha. Kama ni husband akifika nyumbani kugombanisha wife because of underlying mental health conditions. That's why I always tell everyone, if you feel you have anything that needs resolving, just seek help. We are here as a Illness Counseling Organization, even offering pro bono services. So don't die in your room. Don't shelve and bottle up unresolved psychological and mental health issues, and then you keep quiet, and then they are eating you up from inside out. You are dying in installments because you have so many people that sometimes I call the walking dead, the living dead, not the walking dead, but the living dead. There's somebody who died in their 20s, but they are still, the body is still moving up and down, taking drugs and all that, but huyo mtu hayuko kabisa. So let us not allow underlying mental health conditions to become factors that are contributing to gender-based violence. Now, raw socioeconomic status and so we have low socioeconomic status and the access to education is when it is limited. So this is also a risk factor. And I think I mentioned that yesterday. When you don't know that you are being abused, because that is now a lack of knowledge or education, people are not being psychoeducated on these matters. When you don't know you are being abused, you cannot seek help because you don't know you are abused. You don't know. And some people, they don't know that they don't know. But the good thing is that you who is here and you don't know that you are being abused, at least jana tulisoma types, so now you know the types of abuse, and we're also talking about that. So now you know, and you can know when you are being abused. When that knowledge is not provided, especially to the rural citizens, to the rural people, then that contributes to gender-based violence. The other one is the barrier, fear of stigma, revenge, women considering the matter as a private issue. There are so many women, akigogwa, hatai kuongea because hii ni yetu na bwanangu. So ukigogwa hiyo si yako tena na bwanako. Hiyo ni yako, bwanako na sisi. Involve us, So there are people who are afraid of speaking out, especially because of the stigma. Sasa nikienda niongee, watu watakuwa wananiambia, ndiye yule mgogwa, ndiye yule muabusiwa, ndiye yule victim, ndiye yule mwenye anapigagwa na bwanake, ndiye yule mwenye anapigagwa na bibi yake. Unajua especially wanaume, hakuna kitu baya kama unapigwa na bibi yako and then watu wanajua. Yes? Hata uwezi pewa ene cheo, hata uwezi fanywa kuwa chairperson wa Cattle Dip. Uwezi kuwa involved in it. Sasa wewe unagogwa na bibi yako, utaweza kuhandle mashida ya kijiji mzima. So because of that stigma, most people don't speak out. And that contributes to gender-based violence, to the increase in gender-based violence. So that's why we always say, just don't be afraid, speak out to the right people, and you get the right help. Fear of financial barriers. We also have lack of law enforcement. I'm mentioning that very quickly because we had talked about them earlier, when talking about legal issues. We also have witchcraft and black magic. So there are those people who still believe in witchcraft and black magic. Unaenda kwa mganga kutoka Kitui. Sorry, I hope hapa hakuna mtu wa Kitui. And I'm really grateful to Google Meet fraternity that hakuna emoji za mawe, as I mentioned yesterday, so that again nobody is throwing stones at me, emoji stones. So umeona kwa vikigiza stima mingi sana za Kenya Power, Mugaga from Kitui, Mugaga sijui from where, Mugaga. So unaenda kwa huyo jamaa anakuambia that if now you want to get rich, if you want to get the money that you want, lazima urare na yeye, lazima lazima urare na yeye, lazima ufanye nini. So now that person abuses you because you believe in witchcraft, because you believe in black magic. So those are some of the norms and societal and cultural beliefs that are still causing a big risk to when it comes to fighting against gender-based violence. So we also have lack of knowledge or awareness or of resources in the community. So when resources are not availed, so that people can be, what ndio wasomeshwe, and then there's the creating of awareness, people can be psychoeducated. Because even, for example, I would give you an example, us as an organization, newness counseling organization, sometimes we face the challenge of limited resources. Mnaenda mnatafuta watu wa pikipiki ndio muelimishe about mental health, alafu wanawaambia sasa nyinyi ni nini, na pesa ndio inatusubua sisi, tunapoa stress na kukosa pesa. So kama mnataka kutumalizia stress, tupatieni kila mtu 1,000 ndio kwa nyumba watu wapata uga ya kukula. Na sasa wewe hiyo 1,000 most likely hata yule kansora umetuma huko umemtafutia fare, so hata yeye hana kitu. So lack of resources is also a major challenge that is contributing to lack of, you are not able to get to the communities, create the awareness, psychoeducate them. So lack of resources or limited resources is also a major problem. We have unemployment. We also have alcohol and drug use. I think I had mentioned that. So when we are talking about unemployment, jamaa tu ako hapo doing nothing, amekuwa desperate, anajaribu kutafuta pesa hapati, and then now this person becomes an abuser. Anaanza kugojea watu kwa barabara ndio awapore. Akipatana na alede, anaiba pesa yake, kibeti yake, na pia anamuabuse. Anamuabuse physically, na even some of them wanawaabuse sexually. So unemployment also poses a great risk when it comes to gender-based violence, because especially mwanaume hana kitu, anakuwa na stress. Akikuwa na stress, anafikiria tu venye atatoa hiyo stress kwa mtu mwingine. So yule mtu mwenye ako karibu, whether ni mtu, whether ni kitu, whether ni mnyama. That's why sometimes you find a man ametoka kazini, anafika kwa mlango, anapatana na paka. Unaona paka imelimwa teke, inaenda hadi kwa sufuria kitchen, ina mwaga chakula yenye mlikuwa mnapika. Huyu jamaa ako na hasira, unashangaa sasa paka imekufanya nini? Paka ni maziwa tu imekunywa, na labda hata that husband akunywage maziwa. Sasa paka because this person akona makasiriko ndani yake, akona a lot of anger, akona stress, akona depression inamsubua, and because of hana kazi na akona mahitaji hapa na pale. So that also contributes to gender-based violence. Alcohol and drug abuse, I've also mentioned about that, is one of the major contributors. When you are intoxicating yourself, when you are using drugs, your reasoning is compromised. You cannot reason as a normal human being. You cannot be able to logically reason out. You cannot be able to think critically. So when you're using drugs, that really contributes to gender-based violence, because wale watu wengi, the most ladies wenye unasikia wameuawa, it's because the husband is a drug abuser, is an alcoholic, is misusing family finances and all that. So those are some of the major risk factors that are contributing to gender-based violence. Now, as I conclude on that, so that we can have questions or comments as we conclude our webinar today. So it is very important that we all note and realize that if we can be able to see And we'll be talking about that when we'll be talking about prevention as we conclude the sessions. If as human beings, we can value other human beings, if you can look at that person, the other human being that you're interacting with, as you see them as you, and then you do unto them what you'd like them to do unto you, then we will resolve most of these things. Because individualism, lack of that sense of feeling that I should treat other people like a human being the way I would like others to treat me, that insensitivity is actually contributing to gender-based violence. And as I said yesterday, please, if you're getting yourself into a relationship, if a relationship is your thing, please take your time to understand the person that you are getting into a relationship with, because the idea of choosing a life partner is not a joke. Yule jamaa unachagua ujue ni jamaa mwenye utakuwa unaona kila asubuhi ukisneeze ako hapo. Ukienda choo anakugogagogea, anakuambia umekaa sana. Ukienda rua ndio huyo ako hapo. Ukienda guy, oh,
We can't hear you, Eliud.
sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, you're back.
Thank you. So what I'm saying is that when you're getting into romantic relationships, please, we need to take our time. Hawa watu hawaishi kwa hii dunia, wacha kuharakisha relationship because your clock is ticking. Hakuna clock ina tick. Because you are 30, because you are turning 30, 40, and they no. Hata ukiwa shosho bado utaolewa na utabarikiwa kama wale watu wenye wanabarikiwa kupata watoto wakiwa wazee. So don't hurry a relationship because you think your clock is ticking. And actually it's not your clock which is ticking. It's the societal clock. Because the society has conditioned you. Wewe ukifika 35 unafaa kuwa umefanya, ukifika hii miaka unafaa kuwa hujafanya. No. Don't give in to societal pressures that are going to make you stay in an abusive relationship. Don't give in to societal norms that are going to make you stay in an abusive relationship. Don't listen to your pastor akikwambia uvumilie pahali unadugwa na visu. Don't listen to anyone who is advising you to stay in an abusive environment. It's your life. You are responsible for it. Not someone else. Not your pastor, not your husband, not your wife. Nobody is responsible for you other than yourself. So value yourself, put yourself first, and make sure that by all means, as fast as you can, you are running away from violent and abusive environment, and also as aggressive as you can, you are creating awareness and you are helping those people who present cases of domestic and gender-based violence or who could be victims of such issues. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm almost sweating, but thank you so much for that presentation. Thank you also for being an amazing audience. Nyinyi watu waki ni wazuri. Unajua sometimes you hold a webinar and everybody ako huko. Unasikia watu wengine hawaja mute, wengine wanakeleleshana huko, mwingine ndio anasema hakutumiwa fare na last week alikula fare. So but you are an amazing audience. So thank you so much everyone. That is it from me at the moment. So Jacinta, Mary and Marcella, back to you so that we can answer any question if any. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Eliud, for being such an amazing presenter. I believe I can see people clapping, meaning you've made an impact. And you can type your question or you can raise your hand in case you have a comment or maybe you have a question that you would want to direct to our speaker concerning maybe today's topic or yesterday's topic. I can see we still have some minutes because we started a bit late, so that it gets answered, or any comment that you may have. Eliud, now we know better, we understand better the root causes, we understand better the factors contributing to the rising cases that we've seen, particularly even in our country, and we understand better the risk factors. You've empowered us and we appreciate you. So our audience, in case you want to ask or comment, kindly raise your hand or chat.
Yes, we're waiting to see any forthcoming charts and rest up. Yes. Ross Lucy, Jerry, I guess your point was well tackled through and through today's presentation. What would you say? Are you well answered?
Yes, I'm well answered. And also, I would like to say bravo to the presenter of this presentation. He has done good job. We have been educated. We have been empowered. And I believe after this we'll become champions of GBV. Thank you.
Great hearing that. Yes, Florence says, great job, Eliud. Great job, Eliud. We appreciate, yes. Mary as well says, that was awesome. Thank you, Dr. Eliud.
Thank you so much for the feedback. Mpaka mnafanya ni feel kama nitakuwa naitisha sadaka. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yes, my girls, Woven Girls, the girls were Light Up Hope organization. You can't be this silent. You are the host. As usual, naweza kuita tu unexpectedly. I would like one of the Light Up Hope students to say something. Rael Awor. Raela Chen, unmute and give. Yes, Sarah Mwema, you can go ahead, no problem.
Thank you, Eliud, for the good presentation. We've learned a lot. And we want to let anyone take advantage of us girls of Woven. Thank you.
Okay, we're missing you kidogo kidogo hivi. You're with Jemima? All right.
No, Jemima, I'm not near her.
Okay, all right. So let me take this opportunity on behalf of Light Up Hope Fraternity to thank NECO Fraternity on the other end for the wonderful job you guys are doing for us, with us, yes. So feel appreciated. We are really getting deeper into the topic and looking forward to learning much more with you, from you, yeah. At this point, let me call the meeting to an end so that we don't take a lot of time as we did yesterday, so that tomorrow we may have adequate energy to press on to the final mark. Thank you so much, guys. You can exit as you wish.